In this video, we are going to model this styrofoam box. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up a new part file. And then I'm going to format my units. So in the status bar, I'm going to click IPS and click Edit Units. The drafting standard we're going to use is ANSI, and the dimensions are going to be 0.123, and the units are also going to be 0.123. Make sure that it's IPS, so we're using inches, and then press OK. So the first step in the problem is to create our base sketch. So you're going to select the top plane and click the sketch to create a sketch on the top plane. Then we are going to draw a rectangle. So I'm going to use the center rectangle option. Click center rectangle, and you can just draw it a little bit away from the origin where it doesn't actually cross over the origin. And then I'm going to go into click the arrow next to line and click center line. And then I'll click the origin and connect that to the midpoint of this edge or side of the rectangle. Then escape to exit out of that. Now we'll add some dimensions in. So click Smart Dimensions. The length of the center line is going to be 0.4. Enter. And then this side of the rectangle will be 6 inches. Enter. All right. And then this side will be 6.3 inches. Enter. Then we'll go to Exit Sketch, and we'll click Extruded Boss Base. Make sure Sketch 1 is selected before you do that. Then we are going to do a blind extrude. We're going to reverse the direction, so click on the arrows right here to reverse the direction so it's being extruded in the downward direction. The depth is going to be 1 inch, so type in 1, then click somewhere over here. Then we're going to click this draft on, and the draft angle is going to be 10 degrees, so click 10 and then click outside. And we are done with this extrude, so click the check for OK. Now we're going to go to Fillet in the Features tab. So click Fillet. Our fillet is going to be 0.75 inches. And then click up here in the blue box to select the items to fillet. So we'll click this edge. Oh, I accidentally clicked the face. So if you accidentally click the wrong item, just right click on it in this blue box and click delete. Okay. And then I'll select this edge, and you can rotate your part or just hover over here where this edge is and select it. Then click OK. Then we want to add another fillet to the bottom edge here. So we're going to hit enter, and that will allow us to reuse the same command we just used. For some reason, I think because I'm recording, it's not working properly, but it should work on your computer. If it's not, then click fillet up here. And I'm going to fillet this bottom edge here. And the fillet radius is going to be 0.25. And make sure that you have this tangent propagation selected so that it will also fillet all of these edges that are tangent to the edge that you selected. And then click OK. Step 5 is to create an offset sketch. So we are going to create a new sketch on this bottom face. So rotate to the bottom of your part, click the face, and then click sketch. Okay. then Control 8 to make this part normal, or the sketch normal to your eyes. And then we are going to offset this edge here. So to do that, we're going to just select one of these edges, or select this line here, and then right click and click Select Tangency. And it will select all the lines that are tangent to that edge. And then we're going to select Offset Entities. For the distance, we're going to use 0.4 inches. And you can see that the offset is in the outside direction. So we want to actually, we want to reverse, make sure reverse is enabled so that our sketch is actually inside the bottom face. And then we'll click check. Okay. Then we're going to create our recessed cut using this sketch here. So we're going to click the Features tab and we're going to select Extruded Cut. Our depth is going to be 0.2 inches. And we're going to have a draft angle. So select that draft icon to turn it on. We're going to use 10 degrees here and make sure that the draft outward checkbox is not selected. So make sure that it's cleared. Then we are going to click OK. Step 7 and 8 are to add fillets. So we're going to add some more fillets here. In the Features tab, select Fillet. Our fillet radius is going to be 0.125 inches. And then click the items to fillet. And the first thing you're going to do is just select this face here. And it will select all of the edges that are touching this face and click check. And then we're going to hit fillet again, or you can hit enter on your keyboard to redo the fillet command. This fillet radius is going to be 0.2 inches, and the items to fillet are going to be this upper edge right here. So right here, select that. And again, make sure the tangent propagation is selected. So all of these other edges will be filleted as well. Once you've done that, click OK. Then step 9 is to create the rim. So we're going to rotate our part to the upper face. We're going to click the upper face and then we're going to click sketch to create a 2D sketch on the face here. This time we're going to offset outside of our part instead of inside like the other offset. So we're going to select this face and then click Offset Entities. And the distance is going to be 0.6 inches. And we're not going to reverse the direction. If yours is inside, then click reverse, but if it's outside your part, keep it how it is, and then click check. Right. Then I'm going to select this fillet here and delete that arc. Click this one here and delete that entity. Then we're going to select this line and select the point, the end point of this line, and move it in the upward direction. Just click and drag. Once you see those dotted blue lines, then let go. And then you'll do the same thing here. Click this endpoint and drag it so that it's coincident with this endpoint, and repeat that on the bottom. So click and drag until you see the blue dotted lines, and then click and drag this endpoint so that they are connected. And now you should have a closed profile. Then we are going to go to the Features tab and click Extruded Boss Base. We're going to use the blind extrude option, and we are going to enter a depth of, let's see here, 0.5 4 inches. We're going to turn our draft on. We want it to be a 10-degree draft, and make sure to select draft outward. And then click OK. And now you have this rim here. All right, so the next step is to add fillets. So we're going to go to fillet. Our fillet radius is going to be 0.125 inches. And then our item to fillet is this bottom edge right here. So reverse that and rotate your part, and then select this edge right here, that bottom edge of the rim that's connected to our other part we created, or body we created. And then we're going to click OK. The next thing we're going to do is create the fold feature. So we're going to select the front plane and click Sketch. I'm going to zoom in to the origin here. I'm going to click the line command, and then the first point is going to be selected to the origin, so make sure there's an orange dot that pops up. Okay, so click the first endpoint there, the second endpoint here. Then I'm going to draw a line. The endpoint is going to be, aligned with the origin, so I'm going to click once I see those dotted blue lines, and then click again on the origin. Okay, then click check over here. Check, because I'm done with those. Then I'm going to add some dimensions. So let's see here. The first, go to Smart Dimensions. I'm going to click this upper edge, and that's going to be 0.118. Check. And then I'm going to click this angled line and this horizontal line, and then drag my cursor over here and click, and that's going to be 45 degrees. And you can see we're fully defined, so we're good to move to the next part. We're going to click the Features tab. Then we're going to do Extruded Boss Base. Right. I'm going to hit Control-7 on my keyboard so that this is an isometric view. For direction 1, we're going to use the up to surface item or option, and then click this face right here. And what that will do is it'll actually extrude that sketch up to this face or surface. Then I'm going to expand direction 2, click the check mark because we want to actually extrude in 2 different directions. The extrusion option is going to be up to surface, and the surface or face is going to be right here. Click that face, and you can see in the preview that it's extruded in both directions to those faces, and then click check. Now we're going to move on to step 12, which is mirroring this solid body right here. So in the Features tab, select the mirror feature. See here, right here. And then for our mirror face, expand the feature manager tree and select right plane. And then you're going to expand the bodies to mirror and just click on the body in your graphics window. Okay. And in this example, we're using the bodies to mirror instead of features to mirror. You could use features to mirror and select all of these features, but in this case, the bodies to mirror is more efficient. So once you do that, select check. Okay. And now I'm going to rotate, so you hit Control-1 on your keyboard to see the front view, and you can see that this body was mirrored about this right plane right here. Step 13 is to create the lock feature. So I'm going to rotate, and on the bottom right side, I'm going to select this bottom face and select sketch to create a new sketch. I'm going to click the arrow next to line and click center line. Click on the origin and draw a horizontal center line and click. Make sure that it's horizontal. Then I'm going to select the rectangle option and just click once and then click again, escape on my keyboard. Then I'm going to go to Smart Dimensions, and from the center line to the bottom of this rectangle is going to be 1.65, enter. And then from the right edge of the rectangle to this edge, this outer one right here, okay, that's going to be 0.250. Make sure that this side is connected to the top part of the rim, the top edge, instead of the bottom edge right here. And then the bottom of the rectangle is going to be 0.16, enter. And the side is going to be right here, 0.60. Okay. We're fully defined, so now we're going to click check, and we're going to hit mirror entities. Entities to mirror, zoom in and select somewhere in the rectangle. So all of these lines are selected. We're going to select mirror about box and then click the center line. And you can see it's mirrored down here. And so click check. Then we're going to go to exit sketch. Click, make sure sketch 7 is selected. And we're going to select extruded cut. We're going to use the blind extrusion type, and our depth is going to be 0.15 inches. We're going to turn on the draft angle, so make sure this is on, and our angle is going to be 3 degrees, so hit 3 in there. Then we're going to hit check, but make sure this is not selected. You do not want to draft outward. Then click check, and you should see cuts in those spaces. Then we're going to create the lock cavity. So on the bottom left side, click the face and click sketch. Again, I'm going to hit Control-8 to make this normal, and then hit this arrow next to line, click center line, select the origin, and then draw a horizontal line over here, or horizontal center line. And we're going to repeat that. So we're going to hit the rectangle option, just draw a rectangle here, go to Smart Dimensions. From the center line to the bottom of the rectangle is going to be 1.65 again. And then from the left side of this rectangle to the upper edge of the rim, so just so you can see, it's this very outer edge there, that's going to be 0.255, enter. Then this dimension is going to be 0.15, enter. And the left side of the rectangle is going to be 0.59, enter. And then we're going to hit check. Then we're going to select the mirror entities. The entities to mirror, select inside of the rectangle, and we want to mirror about the center line and hit yes. Then we're going to go to features, extruded boss base. Our depth is going to be 0.14. We're going to turn on the draft angle and click, or make sure it's 3 degrees. Then hit check. Now if you rotate this, you can see there's extrusion there. Then we're going to go in the Features tab, select Fillet. For items to fillet, we're going to hit the Expand Feature Manager tree, and we're going to select Boss Extrude 5 and Cut Extrude 3. these are essentially the last two features we created, the cavities. The lock cavity and the lock feature. And the reason why we're selecting the features this time is because we want every edge in these features to have a fillet of 0.032 inches. If you only want some of the edges selected, then you'd have to go in and actually click on the edges, but because we want all of them, we can just select the entire feature and then click check. Now we're going to shell. So in the features tab, select the shell feature. For the parameter, we're going to use 0.025 inches, and that's going to be the wall thickness. And then we're going to select the faces we want to remove. So we're going to select this upper face, and then we're going to select all of these side faces of the rim here. So you should have 9 faces selected and then hit check. I'm going to hit Control-7 on my keyboard for isometric view. And this is what your part should look like so far. Then we're going to add fillets. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to hit fillet. For the 2 top edges, so click this edge and this edge, and then 1 bottom edge. So over here, you're going to click the bottom edge of the V shape. And the radius is going to be 0.050. Okay. And hit check. I'm going to hit Control-1 on my keyboard so you can see what this looks like. Then I'm going to go into fillet again. And for the fillet radius, we're going to use 0.032 and 0.032 inches. And for our items to fillet, we're going to use the 1 top edge. So I'm rotating. So select the 1 top edge here and then rotate to the bottom and these 2 bottom edges. And then we're going to select check. Control-7, and this is your styrofoam box. All you have to do is save this and submit.